The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of UA Local 502 JCPS High School basketball starts now.
Home of the Valkyries, Sacred Heart Academy, as we get you set for Sacred Heart Academy basketball here this evening on Glycod. Justin Kalen alongside Mark Evans as we get you set for what should be a fun game here tonight, as it is the 19-9 Broncos of Frederick Douglass visiting a very tough 21-7 Sacred Heart Valkyrie team. Coach, first of all, welcome in. Good to see you again. Ready for some girls basketball here tonight.
Sounds great, Justin. Couldn't think of a better guy to do it with, you and Tim tonight, and looking forward to it. I know quite a bit about these teams. I've seen Valkyries play several times, and I've seen the Broncos play just this past Wednesday, so I know a little bit about them. I look for it's always an interesting game when it's senior night, and it's senior night here, so it might be a rocky beginning and might be a little bit rough around the edges, but I think it will calm down and become a very good basketball game against one of the 11th region powers in the Broncos. And in my opinion, until somebody says differently on the court, the best team in the state, the Valkyries.
Yeah, going through the senior night festivities now. As I mentioned, Sacred Heart 21-7 on the season. Coach, you've got to take a look at this team several times this season. They have not lost to an opponent in the state of Kentucky. They've won 60-plus straight games against opponents in this state. What makes them so prominent here in this area?
Well, they're a program. You start with that. And great players want to come to great programs. And they tend to retool. And Donna's a fantastic coach, great friend of mine, Hall of Fame, every Hall of Fame there is, and she deserves every one of them. They just have a great staff, and just good surrounding people. It's a good school, and they're just good kids. And they've dodged some things over the years. They've been going for a four-peat like they are, which is just so special.
Yeah.
They've dodged some of the nicks and knacks from time to time, and you have to be a little bit fortunate in order to do that. And they have been that, but they have another great team this year, and you really enjoy watching some of their players play. And you're also going to enjoy the Broncos. They have two or three dynamite young ladies that can play.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. They're 19-9 on the season, so a respectable record in their own right. And just like you mentioned, they've got playmakers as well. So we're looking forward to this one.
Well, they have a very good point guard by the name of Rhodes. She's definitely a volume shooter. She shoots the ball pretty well from the three, 37%. I caught her on a bad night the other night when I saw her against Anderson County. She didn't shoot it as well, but you could tell she has all the gifts. And Miss Ayana Darrington is a very special player. She's a great rebounder. She plays with no fear. And she's one of the best I've seen as far as getting to the offensive board. So the Valkyries will have the work cut out, but the key for I won't go into keys yet. We'll just save that for a little bit later.
That's what we call a tease here on Glycod. Darrington, by the way, the 11th region player of the year this season, so hats off to her for a fantastic season. Nia Rhodes averaging 17.4 points per game. So both of those definitely ones to key on here tonight. Jaylee Knowles, another one, freshman for Frederick Douglass, putting up over 10 points per game. So really excited to see how this one shakes out here tonight as we have almost wrapped up our senior night festivities. We'll go ahead and step aside for our first break here. We'll come back on the other side, and I got a chance to catch up with head coach DJ Moberly of the Frederick Douglass Broncos. Stick with us. Sacred Heart Academy basketball on the way here with Glycod.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Brian Morrison in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tradition means values, and we want a banker who has the same philosophy. Traditional Bank is a Kentucky-based business, and that does mean a lot to a business that is based in Kentucky. They know what we're going through. They are always there for us, and that means more than anything else. My name is Allison. I choose Traditional Bank because of the personal service. Paddle on into Canoe, Kentucky.
1965 Male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. If you're a new or experienced agent and you would like to join Polo Real Estate, contact them at 502-702-7656. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Polo Real Estate Group, representing the region's finest properties with exceptional skill, using the most innovative technologies available.
And back here at Sacred Heart Academy as we continue to get you set for Sacred Heart Academy basketball tonight here on Glycod. Justin Kalen now joined by head coach DJ Moberly of the Frederick Douglass Broncos. Coach, now in your 4th season, 19-9 on the season. What's led to all the success so far?
I just think just committing to us, playing hard as a team. Some of these games, like I said, that we had played this year, we have got some of them got away from us, but we had came back. We stayed weather. We meshed well as a team too. So we've been putting together some good wins this year, quality wins this year.
Yeah, and you've got a good top 3 in Nia Rhodes as well as Ayanna Darrington and Jaylee Knowles. Outside of those 3, who are a couple of other players that have really stepped up for you this season?
I would say Kate Baker and McKaylee Bennett. Those two, they've been kind of they silent. They're one of those type of girls where they don't worry about their points. But sometimes I do wish they would be a little bit selfish at times. But those two have really been helping us come along this year.
Absolutely. It's been a good season thus far. This is a Sacred Heart team. We'll talk more about them. They've got a lot of size. Any talk with your team about attacking that size? How do you go about that here tonight?
Oh, yes. Well, the main thing, we know they're going to make some shots with Reagan and Z. And with Angelita too, but like I told them, we can't give up. We can't let them get second shots. All right, we got to make sure we don't get take away first opportunity we get, we got to have it. All right, we got to capitalize off that. We got to limit our turnovers tonight, and we just got to make some shots, man. We've been struggling, I think, right now as far as shooting the ball, so we got to make some shots.
Yeah, and like I said, a really good Sacred Heart team. They haven't lost in 60-plus games to a Kentucky opponent. Is that intimidating at all coming into this one? How do you handle that with your team coming into a game like this?
Not really. I respect Coach Moore. Coach Donna, she's done a great job here. She's probably going to be a Hall of Fame coach here soon. Don't take nothing away from what they did here. But, us coming in, they're a great team. We just come in trying to compete and win. That's it. I don't, get dwell off about as far as the record, however. But, if we're lucky enough tonight to be that first team to change that up, what I'm saying, I think we can do it.
All right, and if you are able to do it, back-to-back 20-win season, so nothing to shake a stick at. Coach, best of luck tonight. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with more from Sacred Heart Academy as we continue to get you set for Sacred Heart Academy basketball right here on Glycod.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. If you're a new or experienced agent and you would like to join Polo Real Estate, contact them at 502-702-7656. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
Go ahead, pour it on, as thick as you want to. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, serving up the tastiest ribs, chicken, brisket, brown sugar sticky wings, mutton and ham, always served to you fresh and so good, it'll make you say,
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, 7508 Preston Highway.
Holy smokes!
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets. Cuckoo Krusties.
There's no promo. It's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
You're tuned in to JCPS High School Basketball from Glycod.
And back here at Sacred Heart Academy as we continue to get you set for Sacred Heart Academy basketball here tonight on senior night for the Valkyries, as we have just about wrapped up our senior night coverage. They're dragging this thing out a little bit. Justin Kalen back here with Mark Evans, and Coach, at 6 seniors tonight for Sacred Heart. They're going to go with an all-senior starting lineup. We'll get into that a little bit later. How does that affect Sacred Heart here tonight by going away from their normal starting lineup?
It always affects you, Justin. I've been in this business for a lot of years, and I did a lot of senior nights over my time coaching. And and none of them are quite the same. There's always a little bit of emotion. Every coach does a little differently as far as how they start. It's usually pretty ragged at the beginning, and then we'll calm down as time goes on. But it's just an exciting time for everyone, but it's a strange beginning of a basketball game.
Now, is there an advantage in that for a team like Frederick Douglass coming in on the other side? Are there spots where they can take advantage of a non-typical starting lineup?
Well, you hate to say that, but, in that starting lineup, Sacred Heart's relatively young, and so a lot of those players, they play some, but they don't play a lot necessarily. And it's a position situation, Justin. They might all play the same position, and so that affects everything just a little bit. So as far as is it an advantage for Frederick Douglass, can't say the word, Harley. I don't think there's any doubt for the start, but Sacred Heart's an awful powerful team.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into our keys to the game. Just a reminder, tonight's keys to the game are presented by IBEW Local 369. Power up your potential. Coach, let's go ahead and start with the Broncos of Frederick Douglass. Couple things they need to key on here in this one tonight.
Yeah, we're going to call them the Broncos since I have a hard time saying what they really are. But anyway, number one, they have to stay out of foul trouble. I've witnessed two of their games in person. Both times key players got in foul trouble. Both times it affected the win or the loss. The second thing is the ball is gold. And what I mean by that is they have to take care of the basketball. This past Wednesday against Anderson County, Coach Moberly really was concerned about turnovers, and they bit him. He was able to make a great comeback, but not enough. So that's the second key. And then the last one is anytime that Z or Zakiya Johnson touches the ball, she makes good things happen, whether it's scored herself or set somebody else up. They have to limit her touches tonight if they're going to have a chance to stay in this game.
Yeah, and looking at Zakiya Johnson, she's got 2,900 career points, averaging 19.8 points per game, 7.6 rebounds per game, That's the team lead in both of those categories, so definitely a potent offensive scorer. I've yet to see her, so really excited to see her game here tonight, but definitely have to limit her touches if you're Frederick Douglass here tonight. How about for Sacred Heart? A couple things they need to key on here
Well,
today.
I think Sacred Heart needs to be Sacred Heart, and we talked about the beginnings. The beginnings might not be as smooth, but they are a program. These kids have been in this program as seniors forever. They'll be fine. As far as overall what Donna would like to do, like she always does, she needs to push the pace. They handle the ball pretty well. They really don't turn the ball over a lot. A little bit more this year than in the past, and that's something Don's been working on. But they need to push the pace. They need to take away straight line drives. Number 4, Rhodes. Number 23, Knowles. Bennett. All for the Broncos. All like to take the ball to the rim, and it would be important that Sacred Heart gets out, gets in front of them, and forces them to take outside shots. And then the last thing that the Broncos have a great offensive rebounder in Darrington. So, there will be a challenge tonight. So dominating the defensive board for Sacred Heart will be important if they want a clean, good-looking game.
Yeah, you brought up Darrington, 15.7 points per game, as I mentioned, 11.2 rebounds per game, 14 double-doubles for the 11th region player of the year. Really impressive stuff in season she's had so far.
She's a machine when it comes to rebounding. I saw her play an entire game where she didn't get in much foul trouble, but this past game she got in really quick foul trouble and set most of it, honestly, Justin. I give her credit. She plays with no fear, though. We used to call, she really does play with no fear. Sometimes you want her to just hold up one time on those boards because you're concerned about getting early fouls. But she is definitely a special young lady with a lot of gifts.
Yeah, it'll be worth watching here tonight as there are your keys to the game for both teams. Our senior night festivities have wrapped up. Now looks like the Broncos on the floor warming up. Still no sign of Sacred Heart. We got Ken Spencer here, so it's a big night here at Sacred Heart Academy when Ken Spencer's in town. So it's going to be a fun one here tonight as we'll go ahead and step aside for our final break, or our final break. Another break here on our pregame. Just a reminder that this broadcast is authorized by Sacred Heart Academy with production rights owned by Glycod Media. Our aim is to provide the most positive representation for all student athletes, coaches, and game personnel. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back with more here as we will hear from Sacred Heart head coach Donna Moyer, who is in her 33rd season when we get back. Stick with us, Sacred Heart Academy basketball on Glycod.
New recruit? Take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Go ahead, pour it on, as thick as you want to. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, serving up the tastiest ribs, chicken, brisket, brown sugar sticky wings, mutton and ham, always served to you fresh and so good, it'll make you say,
"Holy smokes!"
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, 7508 Preston Highway.
Holy smokes!
I'm your overly competitive brother. Psych, and I'm about to steal this game from you, just like I stole Kelly Carter in high school, huh? Foul! And now you're ready to settle a score. Game over. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, well, you can end up paying for all this yourself. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me. Thanks, bro. Take a lap, rookie.
(1965) male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Blind Direct, not just blinds. Blind Direct, not just blinds.
You're tuned in to JCPS High School Basketball from Glycod.
And back here at Sacred Heart Academy as we continue to get you set for Sacred Heart Academy basketball here this evening on Glycod. Justin Kalen back with Mark Evans. And, Coach, you got a little bit of opportunity earlier to catch up with Donna Moyer, one of your good friends. You two go way back. What was that discussion like?
It's always good, Justin. We are very good friends, but we're personal friends, and we know each other's families and everybody by name, and so it's always like a reunion when Donna and I have that opportunity. No, tonight it was all about senior night. You kind of had to catch her as you could. She had all kinds of people coming in trying to talk to her in their office and all, but
highly sought after.
Highly sought after. So, and I get it because she's also the AD, and I've been there and done that. So it's you're pulled in every direction. But anyway, we talked about her having these 6 seniors that are graduating tonight. One being her niece, and that's Reagan Bender, one of the best players, actually the 7th Region Co-Player of the Year this year. But you know, for Donna, it's really. She talked about she'd love to have any of them as her daughters. I mean, they're just great kids in the classroom, on the court, and socially. You know, Donna's been through some things, and then through COVID, everybody went through COVID. But this group has always stuck together. So these seniors will always be etched in her mind as very important to her. and she loves all of her seniors over all the years, but this group I think will be a very special group. They're also wearing the number of her daughter-in-law that passed away, number 30. That's Elizabeth Campbell. So as I said, they've been through a lot of things, and so you get me. There's a lot more important things out there than basketball.
Yeah. But did she have any sort of expectations for this one tonight?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's she's going to start her seniors, and one young lady volunteered, and you'll figure out who it is when the starting lineup comes out. Volunteered to not start tonight, so the other 5 seniors could start. She really appreciated Coach Moberly by coming to this game. They played each other last year, but it's tough playing this last game of the pretty much regular season for most teams with district starting on Monday, and they have quite a drive from Lexington. So to come in here, a late start time on a Friday night, she really appreciated that. She looks forward to playing this team because she sees a lot of zone, and Coach Moberly does a really nice job with mixing the zones up. He plays a lot of 1-2-2. He plays a lot of like 1-2-2 trap. He'll play some full court 2-2-1, some full court 1-2-2, and a little bit 2-3 trap. So she sees all that type of stuff, and because with her talented team, they're hard to man up against. But he can play man also. So she looks forward to the challenge tonight.
Yeah, well, I look forward to calling this one here tonight. You mentioned Reagan Bender, 7th Region Player of the Year. She shares that honor with Central's Destiny Jones. So I wanted to follow up on that, as this is a potent Sacred Heart team. We'll see if they're able to get it done here tonight, as we'll go ahead and step aside for another break here. We'll come back on the other side and continue to get you set for Sacred Heart Academy basketball, as we'll bring you your starting lineup. Stick with us. We've got more coming up here on Glycod.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
Jake from State Farm. I would like to formally extend my gratitude for the Russell rate on my insurance.
Do you mean surprisingly great rates from State Farm?
I don't believe in accepting help, but I'll make an exception.
Here's the deal, Russell. There's no special rate. These prices are for everyone.
Consider us square. I made that from memory. I know your face that well.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Glycod on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycod.
The reason I went to Traditional Bank, I just felt at peace. The atmosphere was different.
Anytime we need anything, Traditional Bank's always there for us. Can't say enough about them.
Tradition to me means integrity. That's what our product's based on. Just the way I did it 25 years ago, we're doing it now on a mass scale.
My name is Curtis Mackley, and I choose Traditional Bank because of the relationship we have formed with them and their integrity. Welcome to Mingy Beef Jerky.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
You're tuned in to JCPS High School Basketball from Glycod.
And back here again, Sacred Heart Academy, as we are in our pregame, well into the pregame, as we've got about 4 minutes left here on our pregame clock and pregame warm-ups. Justin Kalen back here alongside Mark Evans, as we've got to bring you your starting lineups here for this one. Tonight's starting lineups are presented by Ruoff Mortgage, opening doors. Let's start first with the Frederick Douglass Broncos. As I mentioned, 19-9 on the season, as they're going to trot out number 3, Kate Baker, a 5'3 junior, averaging 5.6 points per game. Nia Rhodes, who got a lot of love in our pregame here tonight, a 5'7 junior wearing number 4, averaging 17.4 points per game, 1,452 career points for her. McKaylee Bennett as well gets the starting nod, a 5-foot sophomore. She averages 6.5 points per game. Ariana Darrington, a 6'2 senior, as we mentioned, the 11th Region Player of the Year, averaging over 15 points per game, 11 rebounds a contest as well, wearing number 21. And the final starter for Frederick Douglass here in this one is number 23, Jaylee Knowles, a 5-foot freshman, averaging 10.1 points per game, 5.9 rebounds a contest. Coach, anything about that starting lineup stick out to you?
It's a good one. As I said, I witnessed them this past Wednesday night. All are quick, all are athletic, all handle the ball pretty well. Nia Rhodes, she's a streaky shooter. She gets hot. She can light you up from anywhere on the court. Darrington, as I said, one of the best offensive rebounders I've seen in a while. Very, very, very active on the board. Jaylee Knowles, one of the better freshmen I've seen. Really likes to take it hard with that right hand to the basket. Kate Baker's more of a spot-up shooter, but if Rhodes is in a little foul trouble, she'll roll over there and play the point for him. Let's see. I was impressed with Bennett. She was our player of the game this past Wednesday, even with the star-studded group they have. She just did a little bit of everything, and I was just really impressed with her quickness and energy.
All right, let's take a look at the starters for Sacred Heart now. As we mentioned, it is senior night, so we're going to go with an all-senior starting lineup, which means no Zakiah Johnson in the starting lineup, as Coach Moyer is going to trot out number 12, Claire Russell, a 5'8 senior. She averages 4 points a contest, 6.4 rebounds a game as well. Aaliyah Holbrook wearing number 13, a 5'4 senior, will get the starting nod, as will Angelina Paleo, a 6'3 senior, averaging 9.4 points per game, 4.4 rebounds, wearing number 22. Emmy Lee Howe, a 5'9 senior, averaging 3.5 points per contest, will get the starting nod. And Abigail Wolf, wearing number 34, a 6-foot senior, also will get the start. Anything stick out about that?
Well, two of them are starters. Both starters that are in the lineup, Paleo and Russell, do a really nice job. Just solid players, smart players, good defensively, good offensively for the most part. The other young ladies, they get quite a bit of time. Sacred Heart is such a strong program. They win by a lot of points, and a lot of these kids get a lot of opportunity. Matter of fact, I was at the Simon Kitten game probably about 2 weeks ago, and Coach Moore's not afraid of playing her bench at all. And within the first quarter, all those other mentioned kids were right out there on the court and playing well. So it's a program. They've been here and done that. They'll be fine.
Anxious to see how this one plays out tonight, as we will go ahead and step aside for our final pregame break, getting set for National Anthem and starting lineups, as we'll be back on the other side, bring you some series information as well as the opening tip-off. Stick with us. Sacred Heart Academy basketball on the way here on Glycod.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. From Glycod, it's UA Local 502 JCPS High School Basketball. UA Local 502, built on excellence, building a better tomorrow. Tonight's game is brought to you by Tinsley Family Concessions, commitment to quality. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust. State Farm Insurance agents Brian Morrison and Mike Shelton. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Blunt Dental Group, straightforward smiles. Allstate Insurance agent Thomas Allen. He puts you in good hands. Thomas Car Wash and Holy Smokes Barbecue. Now, courtside for all the action from Glycod on UA Local 502 JCPS High School Basketball.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. If you're a new or experienced agent and you would like to join Polo Real Estate, contact them at 502-702-7656. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
Go ahead, pour it on, as thick as you want to. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, serving up the tastiest ribs, chicken, brisket, brown sugar sticky wings, mutton and ham, always served to you fresh and so good, it'll make you say,
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, 7508 Preston Highway.
Holy smokes!
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
And back here, Sacred Heart Academy, home of the Valkyries. As we have wrapped up our national anthem, now into our starting lineups as the Frederick Douglass starters being announced now. There you see them coming out in their black uniforms, orange lettering and numbering on those uniforms. Sacred Heart will be in their home white uniforms. Looks like black lettering, numbering, and trim on those uniforms. These are 2 teams that have only met one time in the history of the schools. It's a 1-0 series lead for Sacred Heart, a 60-50 win against this Frederick Douglass team last year. Justin Kalen back here with Mark Evans. Coach, know anything about that contest from a season ago?
I do not, Justin. To be honest with you, I remember that they played, and Donna really appreciated it because it's very difficult for sometimes strong teams such as Sacred Heart to get games and to fill their schedule. And it's always, I always admire the coaches that will step up and do that. And I think it makes their programs better anyway. But, you know, a 10-point difference makes you really wonder. I mean, you know they had a strong team last year. They had to have a strong team to get out of their region, the 11th anyway, because for a while it went through Franklin County and Coach Joey Thacker. And so they were able to knock them off last year, so I'm sure they had a strong team.
Yeah, I really like being here at Sacred Heart. One of the more intimate gyms that I have been in probably in my entire time calling games here on Glycod. They've got a cool little scoreboard up there. Just did a highlight tape, so getting the crowd involved here, and it is jam-packed in here. Temperature has gone up probably, 10, 15 degrees since we got here. Expecting a fun environment here for this one.
Well, it's pretty much standing room only.
Yeah.
They have both the infield, and there's not a lot of space here anyway, but it sure is nice to see a packed house for the especially for senior night.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. Should be a lot of fun as the final Sacred Heart starters being announced now. Sacred Heart, by the way, 21-7 on the season. Like we mentioned, all 7 of those losses coming to out-of-state opponents. They've really played all comers here this season. They've played schools from Georgia, Tennessee. I mean, they have been everywhere here in this regular season. Just like you said, just trying to get any games they can.
Well, Justin, they're one of the elite programs in the country,
yeah.
And elite programs travel. You know, they typically go Phoenix, Naples, you name it, they go. And and as a Mercy Academy, we did the same thing. We would play everybody we could, and it's always a good time over Christmas break and New Year's to play those top teams.
Yeah, played a couple teams from Maryland, a team from California, Miami, Phoenix. So, yeah, they've really challenged themselves as there's our opening tip-off. And we are underway here tonight in this one, and it will be Sacred Heart basketball to lead things off, and that's going to be an early three splashed home by Nia Rhodes.
Yeah, Nia Rhodes, as I said earlier, is a streak shooter. She shoots 37% from the three-point line. The other night she struggled, but, that's how you want to start if you're a shooter.
Now Holbrook on the other end fires up the shot, takes some contact. So early free throws here for the Valkyries.
Well, and Justin, that's something Rhodes really has to watch out for. One of the games that I caught, she was in foul trouble early. She takes some chances, as well as Darrington.
And got that first one there against her. As it's a 3-0 game. Holbrook with a chance to make it 3-1, cannot. But the offensive rebound by Wolf, but then she's whistled for the travel. Justin Kalen, Mark Evans on the call for you this evening.
Sacred Heart opens up in their man-to-man. They always have been known for man-to-man. They play it well. Donna's really concentrated on it this year.
Trying to thread the needle there. That was Kate Baker. Fortunate to keep the possession alive. Now Baker gets the three look, and she knocks it down.
Yeah, she's an excellent spot-up shooter. The night I watched, Rhodes was in foul trouble. Baker took over the point and made, I think, 3 threes that particular night. So she can make her threes.
Here's Holbrook in possession, shouting out the play. Now driving inside with it is Claire Russell. Takes some contact and a couple more free throws upcoming now for the Valkyries.
Yeah, that's Claire's game. She'll take it to the basket strong. She plays tough on defense. She does a lot of the little things that you need on the basketball team. Plus, she's a good rebounder.
Let's see if she can knock down a pair of free throws here. Russell on the season, 69% from the free throw stripe, and she gets the first one to fall.
Yeah, look for Sacred Heart just falling back with this particular group into their man-to-man.
And Russell can't get the second one. If you're Coach Moyer, how long do you stick with this all-starters or all-seniors lineup?
Every coach is different, Justin. I think you want to give them a quality opportunity to come in and feel good and play. You do have to watch the scoreboard a little bit, but Don's got such a strong team. I could see him playing 6 minutes or more.
Keep an eye on that as Baker gets this one off to Rhodes. By the way, teased it in our pregame, but 63 straight wins for Sacred Heart against opponents in the state of Kentucky. So good start for Frederick Douglass, coming out knocking in a pair of threes to start this one.
Yeah, and two of their better shooters. They know who needs the basketball.
As Kate Baker in possession with it now. Trying to thread the needle and get it inside for Darrington.
Yeah, excellent denial by Palaio. Perfect footwork. Just a good job of getting around Darrington.
Now Darrington has it. A Central Michigan commit as it's going to get a foul inside. That one against Jaylee Knowles, or Jaylee Knowles actually is the one that got fouled.
Well, I don't know, Justin. We were talking about how many minutes everybody would play. It might be controlled by foul trouble.
Yeah. As first free throw comes off, it was Palaio picking up that last foul for Sacred Heart.
That's a big foul because she's going to have to battle Darrington all night long.
And second free throw also comes off by Knowles. Tell you what, she's listed at 5 foot, looks taller than that. As now Sacred Heart feeds Palaio down low, and she gets it up and in. And now a takeaway on the other end.
Justin Knowles is 5'8". I know we have her down as 5.
Okay,
but
that makes sense.
I spoke to the coach, and
yeah, I was going to say she looks a lot taller than 5 foot.
Yeah, they're using a different metric if she's 5 foot.
As now Sacred Heart back in possession.
Man-to-man by the Broncos.
Trailing by 3 here in the early going as Russell gets it inside, flips it up, and somehow gets that one to go.
Yeah, as I said, she turns over that left shoulder and squares really well. She likes that shot. That's what she works for. Very much right-handed.
Now Rhodes takes another 3. I don't know if you mind her taking that shot if you're Coach Moyer.
Well, she can get hot, but like I said, she's a volume shooter. She'll take a lot of shots.
3 on the other end, can't connect by Emmy Lee Howe. Another defensive rebound here for Frederick Douglass, and threading the needle, getting all the way to the bucket is Jaylee Knowles.
Yeah. As I spoke, she's a heck of a good freshman.
And now a bucket on the other end by Palaio.
Palaio does a really nice job of rim running, and they can find her. I'm always impressed with her footwork and her speed.
Pretty good pace to start this game out here tonight.
And well played.
We talked about in our pregame how Coach Moyer wants to run. They've done that so far. As Palaio will take the free throw line jumper, and a little short that time.
Yeah, she can hit that. I've seen her hit multiple ones.
Now Rhodes will fire another 3. The offensive rebound now blocked inside, but Rhodes able to track it down. She'll try to attack the bucket. Good step up by Palaio as she gives it off now, and a foul inside as Darrington attacked the bucket.
Yeah, you give the ball Darrington right there with your back and playing her right shoulder. When she turns over her left shoulder, that's an automatic pretty much. She's 6'2", and she's got great length. And she keeps the ball up pretty well.
And Darrington can't knock down the first free throw. She's now 0 for 3 from the stripe here in this one, shooting 60% from the stripe on the year.
Well, as a coach, that's one thing I would want her doing in the gym, working free throws, because she goes to the line a great deal.
Amira Jordan, Reagan Bender, and Zakiah Johnson on the floor now for Sacred Heart. So there's our answer, just under 3 minutes played for the seniors here to start things out. Now back to a more normalized offense as here's Zakiah Johnson with it. Kicks it off for Russell, back to Johnson.
Yeah, Justin, you'll enjoy watching Zakiah play. She's a special player.
And here she is, step back 3, and can't convert on that one as rebound by Frederick Douglass, and now we're going to get a timeout taken by Coach Moberly. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. By the way, Zakiah Johnson, over 40 Division I offers. Well, there's not many players in the country, Coach, that could say that they've gotten over 40 Division I offers. She's a top 10 player, uncommitted in the 2025 class. What a fun feeling that must be.
A little bit of pressure with that, too, but
that's
her
true.
mom was a very good athlete, and her family's well-grounded. I know her grandfather actually coached against her mother. And just a good, solid family that I'm sure keeps her ground. I've met her many times. She's a very nice young lady. But, yeah, she's cut it to 12, I do believe, Justin. And they're all the big names that you would expect. I mean, the top teams in women's basketball. And every year she's improved. And I like her demeanor on the court. I like the way she takes care of her teammates. Sometimes you get all those accolades and you tend to it affects people in different ways, but for her and her family, it has. A very humble young lady.
Now coming out of the timeout. Now we mentioned the offers. UConn, Georgia, LSU, Louisville, Mississippi State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, South Carolina, just to name a few of the schools that are after her services.
Yeah, the best of the best, Justin.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
No doubt.
As Rhodes on the step back two, can't get it to drop. Russell on the rebound, quickly off for Jordan, who attacks the bucket. And an inside rebound for Palaio, who lays it up and in. She's got 6 early points.
Yeah, the other thing, we're talking about Z. I know we're talking a lot about her, Zakiah. She takes a lot of pride in her defense. She moves her feet extremely well. She's long. That makes these major college coaches just smile.
Yeah. As we're going to get a jump ball here, back to Sacred Heart it goes.
Well, look for Sacred Heart in opportune times running and jumping. They'll do a lot of run, jump, trap, and I really, really think it will bother the Broncos. They had multiple turnovers against the Anderson County team the other night. I think it could happen tonight if they're not really, really zoned in on taking care of the ball.
Here's Johnson attacking the bucket, now lays it off. And that's Bender with it, the niece of head coach Donna Moyer.
Yeah, Bender can shoot it. She's a strong shot.
Inside Paleo, and again, lays it up and in. And, Coach, that's what we talked about a little bit off air. That's good offense for Sacred Heart. They just want to float it over the top for Paleo, and more times than not, she takes advantage.
Well, she's hard to guard, and Sacred Heart's run some nice offensive sets, and they're very good at getting into the paint and drawing the defense off of Paleo, then lobbing it up to Paleo. And also Paleo, like I said, runs the rim, runs really hard in transition, and she gets a lot of her easy baskets out of transition.
All coming back now to Sacred Heart, who leads by 2, 11-9 here in the early going. 8 quick points by Angelina Paleo, and now she's got the basketball again. She'll float it over the top for Amira Jordan, and Jordan can't convert, and then we're going to get a foul on the rebound opportunity.
Yeah, beautiful backdoor cut. Great vision by Paleo. I'd like to see Jordan use a glass on that one, or at least reverse it off the glass. A little bit out of control.
Which is to be expected. Amira Jordan, just a freshman here at Sacred Heart, 5'3".
Yeah, I've seen her improve leaps and bounds from the first time I saw her. Last game I watched her play, she did a much better job of shot selection. She did a better job of her defense, and I know that's important to Coach Moyer.
By the way, that last foul against Sacred Heart was their 5th here already in this first quarter. So free throws now, and only can go 1 of 2 is Jaylee Knowles. So back to a 1-point ball game, 3-pointer on the other end. That ball nearly hit the ceiling as Jordan tracks down the rebound. Now Johnson's 3 no good, but once again offensive rebounded. And ball batted out of bounds, and it'll stay here with Sacred Heart.
Well, that was the Bender and the Johnson show that time, back and forth with good-looking shots. They didn't go down, and rebounds. Bender got the rebound. She does a good job on the offensive boards. Smart player.
Those are the kind of looks you want. Now here is Bender with it. Gets it inside for Russell. Off to Paleo, and she lays it up and in again.
Well, Justin, if Darrington's going to allow Paleo to just basically bury her under the rim, the Broncos are going to be in for a very, very, very rough night.
Now Bender on the steal, tried to get this one off for Johnson, who tracks it down but throws it into the backcourt. That's going to be an over and back. Good hustle.
Pace is to Sacred Heart's liking.
Yeah.
They're making a few uncharacteristic errors, but Donna's been really working on that this year because she feels like this team has turned the ball over a little bit more than most of hers.
By the way, both these teams only allowing in the 40s in points defensively.
I don't think you're going to see that happen tonight, Justin.
You're going more?
I'm giving you a cue, yeah.
You're going more, all right.
Yeah, I'm going more for at least one of the teams.
As now here is Nia Rhodes with it. Step back 3. And this time misses everything. So Nia Rhodes hits her first 3 of the ball game. Then she comes back, can't convert on her next 3. That one missed everything.
We're in a 1-2-2 set, one of their favorite defenses. Sometimes they trap out of it, sometimes they don't. We're talking about the Broncos on defense.
Now Paleo, the mid-range 2, and she connects again. 12 points now for her, as it is Angelina Paleo 12, Frederick Douglass 10. Now Kate Baker in possession. Kicks this one off for McKaylee Bennett. Bennett now pass it off somehow. Gets that one up and in by Jaylee Knowles. And she'll have a chance for a 3-point play as well. What an effort.
She loves that move. She loves that spin, step-through move. She does it quite often, and she does it quite successfully. She's a great-looking freshman, as I've said already today. She's long, lanky, fast, aggressive.
Leo going to earn a well-deserved rest on the bench as the 3-point play is converted. 6 points now for Jaylee Knowles. as it was Addison Kincaid, a 6'3 junior, coming onto the floor.
Sacred Heart's running a 2-3 set against a 1-2-2, which is smart, with some flashing to the blocks.
Now down to 6 seconds as Jordan gets this one off for Russell. Bender gets it inside. Kincaid back out for Bender, and they're not going to get a shot off, and that will bring us to an end of our first quarter of play. Sacred Heart 15, Frederick Douglass 13. We'll step aside for a break here. We'll come back and we'll bring you the second quarter of action here from Sacred Heart. Continue with us watching Sacred Heart Academy basketball on Glycon.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Brian Morrison in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
Rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something that's
And back here, Sacred Heart Academy. As we begin the second quarter of play, 15-13. Valkyrie's on top after our initial 8 minutes. And only 2 players scoring in that first quarter for Sacred Heart, as Claire Russell with 3 points. Angelina Palaio, a monster, with 12 points in that first quarter.
Yeah, they found Palaio well. Palaio hit a couple shots.
That was Johnson driving in. The offensive stick-back chance by Kincaid can't drop either. And now come the Broncos the other direction.
We haven't heard too much from Darrington yet. That's a little shocking. One way or the other. Sometimes it's fouls and sometimes it's offensive rebound.
Now Baker floats that one up. Not sure how that doesn't drop, but saved in bounds by Claire Russell. Now quick outlet up for Jordan. She'll give it back to Russell. In the corner, Johnson. Now here's Bender. She'll fire a corner 3. And struggling to find the range here in the early going as Johnson will take the deep 2. And she's finally on the board for the first time tonight. And quick outlet up, trying to get to Darrington, but Kincaid knocks that one out of play.
Kincaid did a nice job of getting back with Darrington. So far, Sacred Heart's doing a really, really nice job on Darrington. They're denying her from even seeing the basketball.
Baker gets it in for Nia Rhodes here.
With the switch, you have Johnson on Darrington.
Now trying to get it out. Jordan takes this one away. Going to utilize her speed, attacking the bucket. And how about that aggressiveness by the freshman?
Very, very aggressive. I'm not so sure she went pushing up with her arm the entire way down the court. But you have a good crew out here, and sometimes that's a hard one to make that decision on.
So Jordan will head to the free throw stripe and can't convert on the first one.
Yeah, you know what, you asked about different lineups and all starting out, Justin. I think what you're seeing right now is a little bit of trying to get the rhythm back for Sacred Heart with the different start of the lineup. Because typically Bender and Johnson are pretty much money, and there's a real good flow. You know, right now there's really not the flow quite yet. I look to see that more in the second half or late in this quarter.
Myra Jordan can't convert on either free throw, as there's a good play inside to Kincaid, who lays it up and in.
Yeah, Sacred Heart's getting the ball inside at will. There's no inside defense whatsoever, and they'll capitalize. You'll see a lot of Palaio, and you'll see a lot of Kincaid tonight.
Now a 19-13 ball game. As here's Darrington trying to back down Kincaid, instead leaves it out for Knowles.
Well, they're taking away her left shoulder, Darrington's left shoulder, and she really doesn't like to go the other way, so it puts her puts her in risk.
There's another turnover now for the Broncos. As Johnson will fire a deep three. That comes up well short, but saved in bounds by Kincaid. Bender throws up the wild shot. Now battle for the rebound. That's going to be a jump ball. It stays here with Sacred Heart. Both teams are really battling on the boards here in the early going of this game. As Darrington now going to head over to the Frederick Douglass sideline. 5'9" sophomore Miami King comes onto the floor. Inside for Johnson. And another errant shot, but another offensive rebound.
Yeah, Taylor's killing them on the boards, on the offensive boards. I expected that could happen, but not nearly this much as it is. But they're getting the ball at will inside.
Bender with the free throw line jumper, gets it to fall. Her first points of the evening.
Yeah, Reagan doesn't miss 15-footers too often.
Now here come the Valkyries again, threading the needle. Bender again lays it up and in.
Coach might want to get a timeout over there for the Broncos.
A beautiful pass by Jordan there.
Once they get on the run, they love transition. They'll score in bunches. You don't want to be out of the game at halftime.
Lead all of a sudden up to 10. As we've still got over 5 minutes left here in the quarter. And how about that? A behind the back pass to Amira Jordan. And she lays it up and in. And that will force the timeout. It'll be a full timeout. We'll step aside for one as well. Stick with us. More Sacred Heart Academy basketball coming up on Glycod.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. You're tuned in to JCPS High School Basketball from Glycod.
And back here, Sacred Heart Academy, the site of tonight's contest here on Glycod, 25-13. Sacred Heart races out to a 12-point lead. Pretty much back and forth in that first quarter, but they've stepped on the gas pedal here in the second.
But Justin, you're seeing real Sacred Heart right now. I mean, as far as you're seeing them flow like they typically flow. And you know, this unit's played a long time together, and it makes a big difference with the exception of the freshman, Jordan. But right now, Sacred Heart's going to try to put them away. They're going to pick up and full court man press and force some turnovers is what they're looking to do.
Well, not only have
they already got their first one.
Well, not only have they played together for a long time, but they've won together for a long time as well. You mentioned in our pregame the 3 straight state titles, looking like they've got a really good shot to make it 4 here this year. How special must that be for the senior class if they are able to get it done in the state championship game again this season, to walk away from here and say, hey, I won 4 state titles.
Well, it's history. Yep. I mean, it's historical. And it is a big deal. And they've already three-peated before. And way back when women's basketball first really began in high school around here, 78 or so, they had a great program and a great coach by the name of Bunny Daughtery then that won a lot. So they know what winning's about.
Yeah. We'll see what Frederick Douglass can do to get back in this game, but that's not going to help as Nia Rhodes loses this one off her knee out of bounds.
Well, so far with 4.5 minutes or so to go in the second quarter, Frederick Douglass has only got a couple shots, and they haven't gone down in this particular quarter, so they're in trouble.
Ender now over to Claire Russell. Palaio back in the game. Gets it inside for Johnson. Johnson finds Russell, but Russell can't convert, but Johnson on the stick back gets blocked. And back comes Frederick Douglass the other direction. Now Rhodes with a full head of steam, throws up the wild shot, and Darrington, her first field goal of the contest, gets it up and in. And on the other end, Bender comes right back with the bucket.
Bender does a fantastic job of running that left lane and using that left hand to make shots in transition.
Bender with 6 points here in this second quarter.
Sacred Heart's always run the court well. I mean, from all the time I've coached against them, and they really take a lot of pride in their transition offense. And you know, Coach Moberly will learn from this. He wants to learn from this, and he'll be able to make some points about transition defense going into his districts and regions with his kids.
Bender trying to oop that last one to Johnson. Off the side of the backboard, now down low. Darrington, back-to-back buckets.
Yeah, you don't want her getting off. She could score in bunches also. Right now it's a matchup issue. That time you ended up with, I think, Claire Russell, and just doesn't have the size for her, and got caught on her wrong shoulder.
Now Russell into Johnson, who leaves it off. Paleo again playing bully ball, backing her man down and getting the bucket off the glass.
So Justin, they're letting them get him in so deep. You know, the only way you can deal with that, you got to come up and get her early, put an arm bar to her, even though they say they'll call it, they won't, and keep her from getting to her spot. But right now, she just gets to her spot every time. And we know what the result has been.
And Russell on the defensive rebound falls to the floor and is called for the travel, so it'll stay here with the Broncos. As Morgan Frey makes her way out onto the floor, first time tonight. As does number 24, Emily Lee Howe back in the game. And another take to the bucket. This time by Jaylene Knowles again, and the freshman's been really aggressive here in the early going for the Broncos. She's been to the free throw stripe a couple of different times already here in this game. We'll see if she can knock down a pair.
She's 60% shooter, and I think she's hit a couple already.
It's Morgan Fry coming in the game, not Frey. As Knowles knocks down the first one. Knowles with one more opportunity here. And she goes 1 of 2. As that ball bounces out of bounds. I thought last touched by Sacred Heart, but they will say Valkyrie basketball. Knowles with 7 of the 18 Frederick Douglass points.
Back in the 1-2-2. No trap.
As Fry trying to get that inside for Johnson, knocked away.
You know, basically tonight, Z or Zakaya's playing a little bit more post-up game than normal. I mean, she's really adapted to the outside. Early in her career, she was really a post-up player, but now she can do it all. She's just really become a great all-around everything player.
I'll tell you what, offensively, she does not stop moving. As here she gets the 3 from on top the key, and once again can't convert, but Darrington throws it away. Coach Moberly just drops his head.
Well, you know, that's his bugaboo. You know, turnovers and fouls. They're not in foul trouble yet tonight, but the turnovers are killing them.
Yep. Just over 2 minutes left here in this first half.
Beautiful pass.
Side for Fry. Now she gets it back out for Bender. Out now with Claire Russell. Good defense here by Frederick Douglass all over Claire Russell, but she gets it off for Jordan, and her shot blocked inside. Back come the Broncos the other direction.
Yeah, that's Knowles again with the block.
Knowles wanted to go the distance, but she gets it taken away. Now here's Amira Jordan. Off for Johnson. Shot fake, drives inside, and comes up empty, but it'll stay here with Sacred Heart.
It's a wild one, Justin.
Yeah. Yeah, the pace really slowed down a little bit since that first quarter. Both of these teams getting up and down the floor.
Oh, I expected the up and down.
Now Bender on the missed three, but Johnson on the stick back. She's got her fourth point of this one. Now quick outlet up for Darrington, loses it out of bounds, and they're going to say she touched it last.
It was a nice job of Sacred Heart on the transition defense. They know that Arrington likes to go, and they like to find her on the long passes, and they've been there lately, so it's really hurting Darrington.
Sacred Heart lead now is ballooned up to 13. As Amira Jordan trying to get past her man, tries to leave it off for Fry, who comes up with it. Now Russell back to Jordan. Out on top, here's Johnson with it. Looks back towards Coach Moyer.
The run and jump is what you got going on. They're trying to create a turnover. Broncos are by running and jumping and trapping.
And Bender, yet another really good look from three that she can't convert. Pretty solid three-point shooter on the season.
She's excellent typically. Her percentage is down a little bit this year. I don't really know why from normal, but it's still 33, 34% from the three. And when it counts, she usually can knock them down.
Now a foul on this end of the floor. Russell thought she got hit in the face. She's looking at the official like, what the heck? How'd I pick the foul up?
Well,
I got hit.
This is McKelly Bennett. I mean, she can flat out get going. She's quick as lightning. She's a force on defense usually, and she'll take it to the basket, and that's kind of clipped her a little bit, but nothing purposeful.
Maya Maxwell in the game now for Frederick Douglass.
Well, and you're seeing some depth by Sacred Heart. They're playing some players.
Leah Holbrook, one of the seniors, coming back out onto the floor. Triggering the inbound here was Kate Baker, is now in the arms of Nia Rhodes. Rhodes being picked up here by Fry, trying to get past her.
Johnson switched and got off on Darrington.
Now quick outlet up for Bender, who tried to step through, and Baker had a foot out of bounds, so it'll stay with Sacred Heart with 14 seconds left here in this first half. Briskly played first half.
Well, Baker saved 2 points there by Bender on the run out.
Holbrook triggers the inbounds for Fry, now with Johnson. Down to 10 seconds. Down low for Fry, who loses it. And yet another ball lost out of bounds by the Broncos. So another opportunity here for Sacred Heart with just under 5 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, that was created by Bender's hustle.
Bender will trigger the inbounds here.
Look for Sakai to see this one. Nope, maybe not.
Instead, it's going to be Holbrook firing the shot, and she gets it to go. They signal a three-point bucket, and that is how we will end our first half of play. 34-18, Sacred Heart on top as they really took control of this game as the first half wound down. We'll step aside for a break here. We'll come back. We'll bring you some halftime statistics. Stick with us. You're watching Sacred Heart Academy basketball here on Glycod.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Welcome to Holy Smokes Barbecue.
At Holy Smokes Barbecue, our pitmasters smoke up mouth-watering ribs, chicken, brisket, mutton, and more. From sandwiches to full dinners, with a complete list of sides and desserts. Holy Smokes Barbecue. Just tell them that the man in the big white hat sent you.
Order up.
How's the pork chop taste?
It's pretty good. It's the best one I've ever had.
Holy Smokes Barbecue. Tell them the man in the big white hat sent you.
When
you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. If you're a new or experienced agent and you would like to join Polo Real Estate, contact them at 502-702-7656. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
Rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Tinsley Family Concessions, a tradition of corporate excellence and community service. For more, visit tfcfamily.com.
And back here, Sacred Heart Academy, site of tonight's contest here on Glycod, and it's a 34-18 lead for Sacred Heart here at our halftime break. Justin Kalen back alongside Mark Evans. A 19-5 advantage for Sacred Heart in that second quarter, Coach, to really extend this lead after they were leading by just 2, 15-13 after the first quarter of play. What led to such a big advantage in the second quarter?
Well, Sacred Heart became Sacred Heart, Justin, with the exception of Johnson normally makes those shots, and Bender does too. So still haven't seen the best of them yet. But the biggest thing was turnovers for the Broncos. Their big fear is always turnovers. They only got five or six by my counting shots in that second quarter, and they were 2 of 5. That's for what I have. That's just not going to get you anywhere. You can't go 2 of 5. Actually, yeah, so they're 6 for 15 for the half so far, 40%. Whereas Sacred Heart for that second quarter, they were 9 of 20, and they've had 35 shots in this game tonight to the Broncos 15. That doesn't translate
difference.
Well, and it's they're going to have to right the ship at halftime. There's going to be a lot he's going to need to talk about and work on and do.
You brought up our second quarter stats, but let's take a look at our halftime stats, the full halftime stats. Tonight's halftime stats are presented by Ruoff Mortgage, opening doors. First, let's take a look at our team statistics.
Team statistics, Frederick Douglass, the Broncos, they're actually shooting 40% from the three-point line at 2 of 5 and 40% from the field at 6 of 15. But once again, it's how many shots they're not getting because of how many turnovers they're having. When you look at Sacred Heart, you're looking at 16 of 35 for 46% field goal percentage. And uncharacteristically, they're only 1 of 10 for 10% from the three-point line, but the magnitude of shots they were getting due to the turnovers and finishing them, and their transition offenses, honestly, just really giving the Broncos some problems. Plus, Paleo and her supporting cast, the burying the Broncos under the basket, under the rim, and getting easy turnaround layups pretty much.
There you go. There's a look at your team stats. Let's take a look at some individual scoring numbers. For Frederick Douglass, only 4 players finding the scoring column. It was 7 points for Jaylee Knowles, 5 points for Ayanna Darrington, 3 points for each Nia Rhodes and Kate Baker. Meanwhile, Sacred Heart had 7 players find the scoring sheet. They were led by Angelina Paleo with 14 first half points, 6 points for Reagan Bender in that first half, all of those coming in the second quarter of play. 4 points for Zakiah Johnson, 3 points for Claire Russell, 3 points for Aaliyah Holbrook as she hit a 3 at the buzzer of that first half, 2 points for Addison Kincaid, and 2 points for Amira Jordan as well. There's a look at your first half statistics. Before we get off to a break, let's take a look at tonight's scoreboard presented by Traditional Bank. Who you bank with matters, as there's some final scores for you. This one a little bit later to tip off than some of the other games in the area, so there's a look at your scoreboard presented by Traditional Bank. We'll go ahead and step aside for a break here. We'll come back and bring you second half action. Stick with us. You're watching Sacred Heart Academy basketball right here on Glycod.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Tradition means values, and we want a banker who has the same philosophy. Traditional Bank is a Kentucky-based business, and that does mean a lot to a business that is based in Kentucky. They know what we're going through. They are always there for us, and that means more than anything else. My name is Allison. I choose Traditional Bank because of the personal service. Paddle on into Canoe, Kentucky.
Blind Direct, not just blinds. Blind Direct, not just blinds.
Glycod on YouTube is Kentuckiana's fastest growing high school sports video site. When you click to subscribe, don't forget to tap the bell and be notified of our upcoming live broadcasts and other unique video content. Subscribe for free now at youtube.com/Glycod.
Family owned and operated since 1946, Thomas Car Wash has specialized in making Louisville cars look fresh and clean. Co-owned by 2006 Mill graduate Alex Thomas, Thomas Car Wash has 4 convenient locations, including their newly renovated one at 5321 Preston Highway, just a mile down from Mail. Additional locations include 6511 Preston Highway, 4139 Bardstown Road, and one at the intersection of Hurstbourne Parkway and Taylorsville Road. From full service to express washes to detailing and towel drying, wash local with Thomas Car Wash.
Jake from State Farm. I would like to formally extend my gratitude for the Russell rate on my insurance.
Do you mean surprisingly great rates from State Farm?
I don't believe in accepting help, but I'll make an exception.
Here's the deal, Russell. There's no special rate. These prices are for everyone.
Consider us square. I made that from memory. I know your face that well.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters.
And back here, Sacred Heart Academy, as we are set now for second half action, as it's a 34-18 lead for the Valkyries. Justin Kalen back alongside Mark Evans.
Yeah, Sacred Heart, just standard quality man-to-man defense.
Your Coach Moberly, Coach, what are you saying to your team at the halftime break?
Take care of the basketball. Take care of the basketball and don't get buried inside by the post player.
Well, get a takeaway in the early portions of this half. As Baker down low now, Darrington gets it poked away, but she gets it right back. And Baker's three comes off, but Darrington, the offensive rebound, she'll get another opportunity, can't convert, but will have a trip to the free throw line. As I mentioned in that first half, Central Michigan commit and Ayanna Darrington.
They need her to get out quick, Justin. That's what she's known for, is second and third shots and rebounding and scoring on the inside. She really didn't seem like herself, but I'm sure a lot of that in the first half had a lot to do with the way the Valkyries played her left shoulder and took it away from her. That time they got a little lazy. She got inside position, and she'll shoot till she scores typically when that happens.
Now 6 points in the contest for her. As they've shaved one off that deficit, but now let's see what Sacred Heart does with their first possession of this third quarter. As here is Bender with it. Off for Russell, now back in the hands of Holbrook, and too many steps there as she couldn't make her mind up if she wanted to get up to the bucket or pass that ball away.
Yeah. Donna's elected to go back with her lineup with seniors as she began the game.
Yeah, Bender's in there, though. She did not get the start.
No, she did not. They just traded off.
Yep.
She actually volunteered not to start tonight.
As we mentioned, the niece of head coach Donna Moyer. Now she's going to come away with, well, it looked like she was going to come away with a steal, but able to track it down was Jaylee Knowles, the leading scorer tonight for the Broncos. And she'll attack the bucket again, and more free throws upcoming. A couple Frederick Douglass fans below us love Jaylee Knowles attacking the bucket. They want to see her do it more.
When she decides to go, she goes, Justin. It's usually with that right hand on the right side.
I've been really impressed with her tonight for being a freshman. Playing above her age, if you will.
Well, she could have started as a 7th and 8th grader, maybe too, but yeah, she's just a really, really good-looking freshman. Built great. I like her stroke on her shot. I like her aggressiveness.
Now with
I like the way
points.
she goes to the rebound side of it.
Now here is Bender trying to drive baseline, gets double teamed, and we are going to get a jump ball. It'll stay here with Sacred Heart, and Coach Moyer wants a 30-second timeout to discuss things with her team. 34-21, they lead, and kind of a sloppy start here at the second half for Sacred Heart. So good idea for Moyer to call that timeout, discuss things with her team here.
Well, she didn't start the regular season starting lineup.
Yeah.
You know, and once again, you know, they're a team where they play 7, 8, 9 deep, but they really, really, really play 6 to 7, maybe deep, 8. Yeah. So it's just you take out Johnson and now their new point guard Jordan. It's a different look.
Well, she's going to bring the same 5 out there: Palaio, Russell, Bender, Wolf, and Holbrook. As it'll be clear, Russell triggering the inbounds here with just over 6 minutes left here in this third quarter. Gets it in for Abigail Wolf, who lays it off for Palaio, gets it up and in.
Yeah, they do that short little give and go really, really well. I'm kind of amazed at how well it works with the tight spacing that they do with it.
Now here is Knowles with it.
And that was a call play by Coach Moore, too. That's why the timeout was made, and she wanted to get him off and going, and that was a perfect call for her.
Broncos trying to get it inside for Amaya Maxwell. As we're going to get a foul called against Abigail Wolf. Her second foul of the contest. And now here's Nia Rhodes with it. Palaio coming over for the double team. Rhodes wisely gets out of there and gets it off for Baker.
Well, that's Bender being smart. She knows that Rhodes wants to use her right hand and right hand only, and she played her shoulder.
Bender nearly comes away with a steal. Now Darrington over Palaio gets it up and in.
That was really impressive. Darrington went over her right shoulder that time and finished. That was a nice play. Back to a run and jump. more or less a scrambling 1-2-2 trap zone by the Broncos.
To Palaio again. She leaves it out for Holbrook, who spins it around and in.
Yeah, good for her. You got to really admire Coach Moore, though, coming back with the same similar lineup. She talks about, how close she is to this group of kids, and to give them the opportunity on their senior night to get more than a token 3 or 4 minutes is wonderful.
Abigail Wolf picking up that last foul. That was her third. So she will head over to the sidelines. Akia Johnson back on the floor now, wearing number 11, guarding the inbounds here. Well, surprised Johnson with just 4 points here in this ball game, averaging nearly 20 a contest, as Knowles floats it up, couldn't get the bounce, and last touched here by Darrington.
Yeah, the guy hit her shot like normal tonight, but she's done so many other things and taken care of so many other players. She plays great defense, and she's not really worried about it.
Palaio, though, she has her shot tonight, now 18 points for her. And the lead now up to 18. But Nia Rhodes comes back and gets a 2 of her own.
Yeah, they moved. But Jordan's out. Zakai takes over the 1 spot. She runs the point guard for her.
Here is Johnson, kicks it off Bender. Another good look at 3, and finally she's able to splash one home.
Well, and good for Bender, but give Micaiah a lot of credit. She had a similar looking shot, but she decided she makes that extra pass and help a teammate out, and that's what she did, and it all worked out well.
Bender will fire another one, this time no good. It's Darrington on the other end getting the bucket for Frederick Douglass. Now here they come back down the floor again as Rhodes stops in the lane, floats it up, and gets it to drop.
Yeah, getting ready to have a sub for Palaio. I think she's a bit winded. As much as she runs rim to rim, she's going to come out and get a break. I think Kincaid's going to come in for her.
She looks winded, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, she didn't get down the court last time, and that's not like her.
As now she's going to turn it over here. She was trying to find Johnson in the corner.
That's what fatigue does for you. They're all tired right now.
And Knowles is going to take advantage of it. As she gets to the bucket for the finish. Now double-digit points for her with 11. Here's Russell. Off Holbrook, fires a 3 again. This time misses everything, but Bender tracks down the offensive rebound. Goes back to the bucket and finally pulled out of there by Jaylee Knowles.
Yeah, again, two fresh ones coming in for the Valkyries. That is a problem, though, for Coach Moberly. He really can't go quite as deep. It's late in this game, might make a big difference.
And Knowles once again gets to the bucket and draws contact, so more free throws upcoming for her.
Yeah, great spin back left.
She spent a lot of time at the free throw stripe tonight.
She earns them. She really does.
Regan Bender picking up that last foul. That's her second. As you mentioned, the freshman Amira Jordan set to check back in, as will the junior Addison Kincaid. And it's going to be Palaio and Holbrook heading to the sideline. Amaya Maxwell coming out of the game for Frederick Douglass, as they bring Miami King back out onto the floor. One more free throw upcoming now, and got them both. So Jaylee Knowles now up to 13 points, and we're going to get another timeout, a full timeout, so we'll take one with them. Stick with us. We've got more Sacred Heart Academy basketball coming right up on Glycod.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. If you're a new or experienced agent and you would like to join Polo Real Estate, contact them at 502-702-7656. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
Blinds Direct, not just blinds. Blinds Direct, not just blinds.
For more than than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by Ruoff Mortgage. For an intuitive, simple, and stress-free mortgage process, visit ruoff.com. Ruoff Mortgage, opening doors.
And back here, Sacred Heart Academy, Justin Kalen alongside Mark Evans as coming out of the timeout. It's a 44-33 ball game. And a miss on the other end for Kincaid. So back comes Frederick Douglass. And all of a sudden, Coach, feels like they've got a little momentum here in this one.
Well, they're taking care of the ball. I mean, Justin, I have them for no turnovers yet this particular quarter. And that was a problem last time.
Good look from three there by Jaylee Knowles, but she can't knock it down. 13 points for her as she's the leading scorer for the Broncos. As Johnson now a good look at three, and once again can't convert, but the offensive rebound by Claire Russell, and she's promptly fouled.
Well, Zakaya's given up a lot of really good looks for herself.
Quality looks, yeah.
Really trying to help her teammates and make sure people get shots, and that goes a long way from camaraderie and team chemistry. So
now Kincaid down low, kicks it out for Bender. Again, knocks it in. Now 12 points for Reagan Bender.
Yeah, Reagan's dead on spot up. She loves that high wing.
Averaging 13.2 points per game this season. Looks like she might get there as Jordan pokes this one away.
Well, that's what Coach Bender is really starting to like about Jordan. You know, she takes a lot more pride in her defense. You know, a lot of times these young kids come in and they think offense. But, you know, Jordan's becoming, doing a nice job, and she's really making a difference now, helping out the defense at Sacred Heart.
Now, speaking right of that, right on cue, Coach, gets the steal, lays it up and in.
Yeah, she's finding out other ways to do very productive things, which is a testament to her coach over there, having the patience with her, and a testament to her by learning.
What an ill-advised foul called against Claire Russell on the inbounds pass, as that was their fifth foul of the quarter. So free throws now coming up for Frederick Douglass. That's the first one up and in. That is Nia Rhodes at the stripe. And Rhodes gets them both. She's now got 9 points in the ball game.
Two very pretty strokes. 2-2-1. 2-2-1 press. Going to try to trap corners. Got the middle covered perfect. Great job by Rhodes. Right where she's supposed to be on rotations.
Works out now as Rhodes gets it in for Darrington. Darrington wisely going to give it outside the perimeter as we've got just over a minute left in the quarter.
Great job of hedging. They switched on that hard hedge switch.
Rhodes floats it up, and she gets another one to go.
Yeah, she's streaky. She can play.
8 points in the quarter now for Nia Rhodes.
Back in the press.
And really?
Yeah, a couple close almost travels or were travels.
As Jordan floats it up and rebounded by Knowles, who gets it off for Baker.
Sacred Heart ball hanging a little bit and give him a good shot down there.
And Rhodes again floats it up and in.
Yeah, that's the problem with hanging like that under the rim. You get a big advantage going the other way. That was another probably steps.
And all of a sudden a 10-point lead for Sacred Heart. Make it 12 now as Bender gets it up and in off the nice assist from Zakaya Johnson.
Let's look at Sacred Heart's defense. They need to pick it up, and I'm sure that's what Coach Moore's thinking too.
Holding for the final shot here are the Broncos. Baker in possession. Gets it off. Darrington floats up a wild shot and can't convert, as that'll bring us to an end of our third quarter of play. 51-39, Sacred Heart on top. We've got the fourth and final frame coming right up. Stick with us. More Sacred Heart Academy basketball upcoming on Glycod.
Blind direct, not just blind. Blind direct, not just blind.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by Ruoff Mortgage. For an intuitive, simple, and stress-free mortgage process, visit ruoff.com. Ruoff Mortgage, opening doors.
Fourth and final quarter upcoming here from Sacred Heart Academy. Justin Kalen alongside Mark Evans. As it's been a good ball game thus far. Sacred Heart on top by 12, but a good spurt by Frederick Douglass in that third quarter of play. They shaved 4 points off the lead. How'd they get it done in that third frame?
They took care of the ball, Justin. They were able to get 14 shots off, get to the line multiple times, and make some free throws. That was the difference. So it was about an even quarter.
See what happens here in the fourth and final quarter as Zakiah Johnson on the step back. Claire Russell, the offensive rebound. Now Maya Jordan fires it up, and she can't convert as Darrington comes down with the rebound and gets fouled. Couple of Sacred Heart fans in attendance wanted to travel on that. I thought she took some contact, therefore forcing her to the ground.
Well, I mean, you normally do travel when you're tackled.
Last foul, by the way, going against Claire Russell. That was her fourth. So she'll have to be careful the rest of the way as Palaio knocks that one out of play.
Yeah, if you watch Justin, Palaio's staying right on her left shoulder, trying to take away the turn, force her turn middle, force Darrington to turn middle, and then have some help come help her.
Claire Russell heading off to the sideline as Emmy Lee Howe coming back on the floor. Darrington will try to drive in, and how about that? Amira Jordan set up perfectly underneath the basket.
You got to love it. You got to love it, as we were talking earlier about Jordan and how much he's improved and how much defense has become important. That's the ultimate when you take a charge like that.
Oh, especially when you've got Ayanna Darrington coming down on you. It's hard to stand in there and take that one, but she did just that as now Bender on the other end, step back two, and gets it to fall.
Beautiful press break. Perfection. Every pass was correct and a nice finish. Oh, great pass, though.
Yeah, inside Darrington with another finish.
Yeah.
She's starting to find her groove.
That was created by number 11, though. She made a beautiful drive baseline and kickback. And that was Bennett. Bennett with the assist.
Darrington nearly a takeaway. It's a 53-41 ball game. Darrington, by the way, up to 12 points now in this contest, as trying to inbounds for Palaio, and they're going to say Darrington pushed her in the back.
Yeah, a little shove that wasn't even needed.
I think that pass was going to be high regardless, right?
Yes, it was. It was. Darrington tends to do that every once in a while. I'd like to see her stay in the game more, but she's done a real nice job of controlling her fouls tonight, though.
Now Jordan on the three, and Zakiah Johnson on the stick back in the and one opportunity.
Well, I may have spoke too soon, Justin. That might be on Darrington.
And it is indeed. So no fouls up until the fourth quarter, and now back-to-back for Darrington.
Yeah, that's what, three? Is that three fouls?
Two.
Two?
As Johnson's free throw up and in. She's now got 7 points in the ball game, well below her season average of 19.8. As Darrington on the offensive rebound, but the stick back blocked away. Quickly
Beautiful
up,
catch.
Bender gets it up and in.
Beautiful pass. You're seeing vintage Sacred Heart running the court right now.
Reagan Bender, 12 second half points here in this one. And she's now up to 18, well above her season average of 13.2. Darrington out, the three-pointer here, and converts.
No.
That was Nia Rhodes splashing it home. 13 second half points for her. As Bender again attacks the bucket, Palaio fighting for the offensive rebound, but Darrington clears it, bodies all over the floor.
Ooh.
As Knowles gets it poked loose, quickly up, Palaio lays it up and in. Palaio now with 20 points in the game. Keep in mind, averaging 9.4 coming in, so she is having a heck of a senior night here tonight for Sacred Heart.
A lot about matchups, however teams play defense and the types of matchups you get. Wheels are falling off the Broncos at this point in time. Coach needs a timeout.
Darrington saved that ball in bounds, but right to a Sacred Heart player. Now Palaio will take the three, and she converts. Wow. And this place goes bananas. Seeing their senior center knock in the three.
She's got a nice stroke. She don't shoot a lot of threes, though. I think 3 or 4 on the year. I think she made one other.
Another takeaway by Bender, who gets it up for Amira Jordan, who's now got 6 points in this one. And there is the timeout for Frederick Douglass. It'll be a full timeout. We'll step aside for one as well. More Sacred Heart Academy basketball coming right up on Glycod.
I'm your overly competitive brother. Psych, and I'm about to steal this game from you, just like I stole Kelly Carter in high school, huh? Foul! And now you're ready to settle a score. Game over. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, well, you can end up paying for all this yourself. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me. Thanks, bro. Take a lap, rookie.
Contact Louisville and Lexington Allstate agent Thomas Allen for a quote today. UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time. You're tuned in to JCPS High School Basketball from Glycod.
And exactly 5 minutes left here in this fourth and final frame. Sacred Heart on top, 65-44 over Frederick Douglass. And it's been a good fourth quarter for the Valkyries. And really, Frederick Douglass, coach, has gotten away what made them so successful in that third quarter. They're really getting loose with the basketball.
Well, they're getting loose with the basketball, but more than anything else, they're not getting back on defense. They're missing shots, and they're stalling getting back, and Sacred Heart's taking advantage of it with their transition offense.
Michaela Bennett comes out of the timeout and splashes one home on the nice-looking runner.
2-2-1, trying to get back in it, but I think it's going to be too late.
First points of the night for Michaela Bennett, the sophomore.
You got to give, they fight, though. You got to give Broncos a lot of credit. I watched them the other night down 17 in the second half, came all the way back to within 5 points.
Wow.
With just great hustle.
Now a foul down low here. As it'll stay in possession with Sacred Heart. As Howell triggers the inbound, gets it in for Jordan.
You missed an alley-oop there, Justin. That was an alley-oop set up for Johnson.
Here is Johnson backing down her defender, out for Wolf. Now back with Amira Jordan, and there is the alley-oop up for Johnson, and she leaves it short.
Yeah, she had to go up over Darrington, and just a little bit short. Darrington got her off the block a little bit, made it a little tougher shot.
Kate Baker gets it inside for Darrington, and spins right to the bucket, and gets it up and in.
Yeah, you let her go over that left shoulder, she's pretty deadly. Beautiful pass there. Another pretty pass.
Abigail Wolf will kick it out. Jordan thought about a three, instead kicks it out for Johnson, and that time it's pure as the morning dew.
Yeah, Jesse, you got to realize, too, last week I watched her play. She was 6 of 6 from the three-point line, so she could shoot it.
Well below that mark here tonight, but she is now in double figures with 10 points here in this one. As Baker kicks this one out, Nia Rhodes, her three no good, but Darrington, another offensive rebound and stick back.
Darrington's playing a good game tonight, smart game overall.
11 points here in this second half, 16 overall, as Johnson gets another one up and in. Starting to find her groove here in this fourth quarter. And nearly gets the block on this end, but the shot misses. Now quick outlet up for Jordan. Lays it off. Bender gets it up and in.
Bender makes a living running that left lane, and she can finish with a scoop or she can go over the top. She just does a really nice job of running good angles and lanes.
Reagan Bender now joins Palaio at that 20-point mark. Darrington nearly gets this one taken away by Jordan. Instead now leaves it out for Bennett. Bennett behind the back, nice move there and draws the contact.
Yeah, that was a great draw and kicked it to Darrington for the opportunity, but the foul was called on the floor.
Second foul going against Amira Jordan, as it's a 72-50 ball game, down to 2:21 left, as McKaylee Bennett splashes home the free throw. Amira Jordan will head to the sideline. Aaliyah Holbrook back onto the floor. One of these 6 seniors tonight for Sacred Heart. And Bennett gets both free throws up and in. Kaylee Bennett didn't score through the first 3 quarters, but she's got 4 here in this fourth frame. As that ball caroms out of bounds, back to the Broncos it goes.
Yeah, they didn't hang that time. They did a much better job of getting back. The Broncos did in their transition defense and made it a little bit tougher on Sacred Heart.
Now Bennett going to bring it across the timeline. Leaves it out for Baker. Baker wants to go down low, and she will. Knowles gets it up and in. Her first points of the quarter. Jaylee Knowles has actually scored in every quarter here tonight. Good game by her as well.
They're looking 2-3 run and jump.
Bender will fire another 3, and she converts again. Now 9 points here in this fourth quarter, and Sacred Heart running away with this one, as we're down to 90 seconds left. Reminder, we will have a full post-game report for you following this game, so make sure to stick with us for that one as the ball out of bounds back to Sacred Heart.
Broncos are going to fall back and play straight up defensively.
Kaya Johnson heading to the sideline, as is Emmy Lee Howe. Angelina Palaio coming back on the floor, as does Claire Russell. So all seniors out there now for Coach Moyer.
Well, both coaches are getting in some of the kids that don't play quite as good.
And a foul down low.
Coach Moberly's bringing in a platoon.
He's got a lot of young players coming on the floor. Miami King, one of them. Navia Major coming on as well, as does Reagan Gregonis. And the other substitution is going to be Iona Adkins, a 5'4", 8th grader.
Well, it makes a big difference. Any time on the court and varsity actions is good time.
Reagan Bender going to come off the floor, gets a double high 5 from Coach Moyer.
Palaio will most likely be the next one off.
As Wolf quickly up. Caroline Austing, a 5'8" junior in the game now for Sacred Heart. And Abigail Wolf will draw the foul around the bucket, so a couple free throws upcoming.
A curtain call for Palaio, I'm sure.
As it's Morgan Fry set to check in, the 5'10" junior. As Wolf misses long on the first one. And And it's actually going to be Claire Russell coming out of the game, not Palaio.
Oh, threw me a curve. My bad.
They got to keep you on your toes.
I guess so.
As Russell gets a good ovation. And now Kincaid at the scoring table, and there goes Palaio. As she will head out of the ball game. A fantastic night for her. After 14 first half points, finishes with 23 here in this ball game. We've got just over a minute left, and Sacred Heart still playing hard defense here. Major with the basketball now, driving baseline on the up and under, and she'll have an opportunity here for a couple free throws.
Yeah, nice little reversal. Tried to use the rim and come back over the top.
Saw her in our JV game tonight, had some good minutes for Frederick Douglass.
Drew the foul.
As first one up and in.
Yeah, confident, look good, good stroke.
Leah Major, by the way, an 8th grader. As Abigail Wolf will be the next senior to be taken off the floor. Aaliyah Holbrook, the only one left out there now. And Major banks in the second one. And Zakiah Johnson back on the floor, and there goes Aaliyah Holbrook. So now all the seniors out of the lineup with 52 seconds left to play here in this one. Kincaid will leave it out for Jordan. Right now in the arms of Caroline Austing, and she will draw the foul for a pair of free throws. Good night for Sacred Heart here in this one. We always knew that it was going to be a tough game for Frederick Douglass, but a 20-point lead right now and a chance to extend that for Austing as she knocks in the first one. Coach Moberly's going to have to wait till their next game to try to get to that 20-win mark as Austing knocks down both free throws here.
I have a lot of confidence in Coach. I think he's done a great job with his program in 4 years. He does take all comers, that's for sure. Anytime you roll into Sacred Heart on senior night, you have no fear, and you're trying to give your kids the opportunity to get better.
Here is Austing in possession of the basketball across the timeline as we've got under 30 seconds left in this game. And Sacred Heart going to continue to play offense, at least for now. Now it looks like they're content to try to get the rest of that time off the clock. And as I say that, Kincaid drives to the bucket, and Austing on the offensive rebound and stick back.
Yeah, nice job of working the weak side boards and picking up the two.
Now Myra Jordan on the other end with the steal. Johnson leaves it off for Austing, who lays it up and in, and that will do it here for this one. 82-56, the final score. Sacred Heart with a dominant win here tonight to move up to 22-7 on the season. Frederick Douglass will fall to 19-10 on the year. We'll step aside for a break here. We'll come back on the other side, and we will bring you some post-game coverage. Stick with us. Sacred Heart Academy basketball right here on Glycod.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Go ahead, pour it on, as thick as you want to. Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, serving up the tastiest ribs, chicken, brisket, brown sugar sticky wings, mutton and ham, always served to you fresh and so good, it'll make you say,
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering, 7508 Preston Highway.
Holy smokes!
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
Solid career path.
Rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For your surprisingly great home and auto rate, call State Farm agent Brian Morrison in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Brian Morrison and Mike Shelton. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And back here, Sacred Heart Academy, where we have wrapped up our coverage, or our game at least. We still have some coverage as it was an 82-56 win for Sacred Heart. Justin Kalen back alongside Mark Evans as Sacred Heart gets it done. And by the way, that last segment of the game was brought to you by Allstate Insurance agent Thomas Allen. For a quote on home, auto, or life insurance, contact Thomas at 502-425-8484. Coach, a good performance tonight for Sacred Heart on their senior night. They were a little sluggish at times here in this ball game, but they end up getting the nice win here tonight over Frederick Douglass.
Well, I think, Justin, you saw some vintage Sacred Heart once they got the rhythm back. Playing a different lineup. It just throws everything off a little bit. I think it's great that Coach played and started her seniors. I think it's great she brought them back in. Those kids work hard. They've been working hard for 4 years. But it does throw a tick off. But I'll tell you what, once they got going, they were unstoppable with that transition offense.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun tonight. They had a lot of really good performances as well, which we'll touch on in our next segment. But it was a 2-point lead for Sacred Heart after one quarter. 15-13 was the lead. They extended that up to 16 by our halftime break, 34-18. It was a 51-39 lead for the Valkyries after 3 quarters of play before ultimately winning this one 82-56 as Sacred Heart will now move up to 22-7 on the season. Frederick Douglass falls to 19-10. We'll step aside for a break here. We'll come back on the other side and we will bring you some statistics from this contest. Stick with us. You're watching Sacred Heart Academy basketball right here on Glycod.
Jake from State Farm. I would like to formally extend my gratitude for the Russell rate on my insurance.
Do you mean surprisingly great rates from State Farm?
I don't believe in accepting help, but I'll make an exception.
Here's the deal, Russell. There's no special rate. These prices are for everyone.
Consider us square. I made that from memory. I know your face that well.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Mike Shelton in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
Tradition means values, and we want a banker who has the same philosophy. Traditional Bank is a Kentucky-based business, and that does mean a lot to a business that is based in Kentucky. They know what we're going through. They are always there for us, and that means more than anything else. My name is Allison. I choose Traditional Bank because of the personal service. Paddle on into Canoe, Kentucky.
When you're buying or selling a new home and you want to do it with few hassles, count on Polo Real Estate Group. Founded and owned by 1993 Male High graduate Dion Reese, Polo Real Estate has over 2 decades of experience and offers skillful consultation and representation for your sale or purchase. If you're a new or experienced agent and you would like to join Polo Real Estate, contact them at 502-702-7656. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust.
1965 male graduate and basketball star George Tensley knows the value of providing quality service, and that's what you get when you dine with Tensley Family Concessions. They provide travelers with many fine choices at Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Whether it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chili's, or Starbucks, you know your travel experience will be a more comfortable and convenient one. Learn more about our company by visiting the website tfcfamily.com.
Dine Direct, not just blinds. Dine Direct, not just blinds.
You're tuned in to JCPS High School Basketball from Glycod.
And back here, Sacred Heart Academy, the site of tonight's contest, where Sacred Heart victorious 82-56, the final here tonight. Justin Kalen back with Mark Evans as we've got to bring you some statistics from this contest. A look at tonight's final numbers are brought to you by Ruoff Mortgage, opening doors. Coach, let's first start with the team statistics here tonight.
Well, team statistics, Justin, let's start with the Broncos. Big thing in this is volume of shots the entire game. The Broncos got 17 of 40 from the field, 3 of 11 from the three-point line, 27% from the three-point line, 43% from the field goal percentage. Not bad, but once again, volume was important because of the lack of shots due to turnovers, especially in the first half. As far as the Valkyries go, not quite as hot as they usually are from the three-point line. 6 of 19 for 32%. Still volume once again. 32 for 66. So they got 26 more shots than Douglas did for 48% from the field, and so good enough to have a big win on a big night.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As now let's look at our individual scoring numbers. First for the Frederick Douglass Broncos. They were led tonight by Nia Rhodes, 16 points for her. A lot of those coming in the second half. Actually, majority of those coming in the second half, with 13 of her 16 coming in that second half of play. 16 points also for Ayanna Darrington, 11 of her 16 coming in the second half. Jaylee Knowles ends with 15 points here in this one. 4 points for McKaylee Bennett, 3 points for Kate Baker, and 2 points for Navia Major. And for Sacred Heart, they were led by Reagan Bender and Angelina Paleo. Both of them put in 23 points here in this one. 12 points for Zakiah Johnson, 6 points for Caroline Austin, as well as Aaliyah Holbrook and Amira Jordan. 3 points for Claire Russell, and 2 points tonight for Addison Kincaid, as there's a look at your individual and team statistics. Before we step aside for another break, let's take a look at tonight's scoreboard. Tonight's scoreboard, as always, is presented by Traditional Bank. Who you bank with matters, as this was one of the later games in the area to tip off here tonight due to the travel for Frederick Douglass. So all of our other games final as well. There you can take a look at the scores. Actually, not all of them final. Warren Central, Lexington Catholic still battling it out with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So we'll step aside for our final break here. We'll come back on the other side. We'll let you know what's upcoming here on Glycod, and we've got to name our most outstanding players as well. Stick with us. One final segment coming right up for your Sacred Heart Academy basketball coverage on Glycod.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right. Pepperoni pockets, cuckoo crusties.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch.
For your surprisingly great home and auto rate, call State Farm agent Brian Morrison in Louisville today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The reason I went to Traditional Bank, I just felt at peace. The atmosphere was different.
Anytime we need anything, Traditional Bank's always there for us. Can't say enough about them.
Tradition to me means integrity. That's what our product's based on. Just the way I did it 25 years ago, we're doing it now on a mass scale.
My name's Curtis Mackley, and I choose Traditional Bank because of the relationship we have formed with them and their integrity. Welcome to Mingy Beef Jerky.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
UA Local 502 is offering great career opportunities for plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. They're seeking highly skilled and trained workers with or without experience. Incentives include debt-free education, employer-funded benefits, apprenticeship that comes with employment, and high starting wages. If you're ready to accelerate your career or just want a fresh start, UA Local 502 could be for you. Contact them at 502-361-8492. UA Local 502. We do it right the first time.
I'm your overly competitive brother. Psych, and I'm about to steal this game from you, just like I stole Kelly Carter in high school, huh? Foul! And now you're ready to settle a score. Game over. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, well, you can end up paying for all this yourself. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me. Thanks, bro. Take a lap, rookie.
Contact Louisville and Lexington Allstate agent Thomas Allen for a quote today.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
You're tuned in to JCPS High School Basketball from Glycod.
And welcome back one final time here to Sacred Heart Academy. Justin Kalen back alongside Mark Evans, as it was an 82-56 win for Sacred Heart here in this one tonight. And we've got to give you some outstanding players. Tonight's most outstanding players are presented by State Farm insurance agents Mike Shelton and Brian Morrison. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Coach, let's first start with the Frederick Douglass Broncos, our most outstanding player for them.
Justin, we have number 21, Ayanna Darrington. She played a good game tonight. She stayed out of foul trouble and battled a lot of size with Sacred Heart all night long, having multiple players play against her. So I'm impressed with her.
Yeah, ended up with 16 points defensively. She played really well, grabbed a number of rebounds, a majority of those coming on the offensive end, it seemed like. How about for Sacred Heart? Where are we going with that?
Well, that's a tough one always. They have several players that just always stand out. But for tonight, Pelayo had a great night. I mean, she hit a 3 from the top. She hit a 15-footer. She just really played strong. She did a real nice job of getting them underneath and burying them under the rim so she could just turn strong over her shoulder, put the ball in the basket. So she had a great game, and congrats to her, on senior night.
Yeah, 23 points is what she ended up with, and like you mentioned, majority of those coming right around the basket. We've got a busy week upcoming on Glycod as district play starts next week as we take a look at Monday's schedule, 28th District Boys semifinals. Coach will be there at Eastern High School on Monday as we'll see Ballard and Cal, and then KCD and Eastern do battle on Monday night. Really looking forward to those two matchups. And then, of course, district finals on Wednesday. So I always like to say this is the fun time of the year. We're getting into the tournament. Here comes all the fun.
Well, they're keeping us going. I mean, these doubleheaders are quick. I look forward to the district also coming up. I've had the opportunity to see Ballard. I watched I watched Cal this afternoon on tape, and I've seen Ballard. I've not seen KCD yet, but it should be. I think there's 3 teams in particular that could definitely pull this off.
Yeah, no doubt. Make sure to stick here with us on Glycod as we'll have action featured from the 28th, 29th, and 42nd district tournaments. So a lot to look forward to here on Glycod, no doubt about it. And then we're going to turn the calendar to regionals, and before you know it, season's going to be over, Coach.
Yes, it will. We got about 30 days, I think, before the state tournament begins, and for the boys. So we have a lot of basketball in front of us.
By the way, just a heads up for you, Glycod got exclusive streaming rights for the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 11th regions. So if you want to watch those regions, only place to do so is Glycod. Pretty big deal, as we will have all those games for you coming up on Glycod. Before we get out of here, I certainly want to thank Steve Bird, executive producer of Glycod. Got us all the information we needed to make this broadcast happen here tonight. Also want to thank Tim Bryan, our on-site producer. Greg Bryan was on the camera for us this evening. Big shout out to him as well. And then, of course you, Coach Mark Evans, on the call with me tonight. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, enjoyed it. Look forward to our upcoming games, Justin.
Yeah.
Glad we're working together on the next ones with Tim, and that's fantastic.
Yep, should be a good time. So make sure to join us for that. District play starts Monday here on Glycod. Your final score, one final time. Sacred Heart 82, Frederick Douglass 56. Alongside Mark Evans, I'm Justin Kalen saying so long and good night. You've been watching Sacred Heart Academy basketball right here on Glycod.
From Glycod, this has been UA Local 502 JCPS High School Basketball. UA Local 502, built on excellence, building a better tomorrow. Tonight's game was brought to you by Tinsley Family Concessions, commitment to quality. Polo Real Estate Group, a realtor you can trust. State Farm Insurance agents Brian Morrison and Mike Shelton. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Blunt Dental Group, straightforward smiles. Allstate Insurance agent Thomas Allen. He puts you in good hands. Thomas Car Wash and Holy Smokes Barbecue.
Visit our website, glicod.com, Facebook and Twitter @Glycod. We thank you for tuning into this live sports presentation from Glycod.